Welcome back, YouTube. It's Jay Roebuck, and I have another video for you, but this one is going to be a bit different. We are going to cover a variety of topics all in one video, but don't worry, I'm going to have timestamps listed below so you can jump to your favorite parts or the parts that you are most interested in. Or on the other hand, you could watch the video in full so you can get my take and opinions on all the hottest topics in news and music this week. Now, before I go any further, here's what I want to tell you. We are almost at our 10K sub goal. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, share all the videos with your family, with your friends. Once we hit 10K subs, I'm giving away $500. In addition to that, I also have merch available with my slogan, facts over feelings. So if you're tired of people crying in the comment section, not giving facts, just giving crazy opinions and theories, but they have nothing to back it up, that's the kind of shirt that you want to rock. And all my members, remember, you have a free shirt waiting for you. You just have to email me so I can give you all the information so I can mail it out to you. So I won't hold you any longer. We got a lot to talk about, from Young Thug and Mariah the Scientist, Dame Dash and Charlamagne the God, Joe Budden and Drake, Elliot Wilson, hip hop media. We have a lot to talk about. So let's get into it. Dame Dash has made headlines again. He went to the Breakfast Club, and if you haven't heard already, it didn't really go that great. There was a lot of back and forth between him and Charlamagne the God, between him and DJ Envy, and it wasn't really a positive interview. And this is kind of the trend that Dame has been following ever since his split from Rockefeller. It's been fiasco after fiasco. Now, I'm always going to give you the truth, and I'm going to tell you where I come from. If you don't know, I'm from Harlem. I'm from the east side of Harlem. Dame Dash is from the east side of Harlem. He's from 1199 First Avenue. I'm from Madison Avenue. So it hits close to home whenever I see him struggling and going through these things, because I always want him to succeed, but sometimes he falls victims to his own hypocrisy. And I think that's exactly what we saw in this interview. So let's watch some clips. I'll react to them live. And let me know what you think in the comments about this whole thing with Dame and Charlamagne the God. Now, we won't watch the whole interview due to copyright issues and timing, but I will play the highlights that were on X that'll give you a gist of just how this interview went. Let's watch.
No, you're not like me.
What you mean? You say you don't have?
Do you have a
you say you
family
don't make a lot
office?
of money.
I bet my house is bigger than yours. I bet all my houses are bigger than you. I bet I have a better.
How old are you,
Stop.
man?
Now it's how old are you?
So this is a professional interview with the #1 show in America, the #1 morning show in America. And look at what's being talked about and thrown around. It's just elementary school arguments. This sucks that this is what Dame Dash has been reduced to, because he was once one of the most powerful figures in music.
Embarrassing.
You're embarrassed. Yeah, because yeah.
Come on, Dan.
I got you. This is my assessment. I've never heard you say one thing bad about Jay-Z.
Now, before we even go into the Jay-Z thing, I want you to pay attention to what Charlamagne does the entire interview. Every time Dame says one thing, Charlamagne fires back with a jab. And what Charlamagne is doing here is he's showing Dame something. You can't bully me in this room. You can't bully anyone up here. The tables have turned. You used to walk into Def Jam offices and Rockefeller offices and yell at people, berate them because you had the power and you were the big man. You were the bully. But the tables have turned, and you have to realize this. I think Charlamagne's whole approach here was to humble him. And the same thing that Charlamagne does, DJ Envy followed suit.
One.
He's not in the room. You shouldn't talk about him.
Don't tell me what to do.
You said you shouldn't talk about men
Now
when you're not in the room.
you're interrupting me.
Now you're doing the girl
I
stuff.
I
You
know
don't want
him.
people
I'm
to
giving
do
you an
it.
example,
You
right?
used to know him.
Can I talk?
Now that was tough right there. Hit him twice. Let me use your own logic to fault you. He said, let's not talk about men when they're not in the room, because that's what Dame says all the time. Then Dame says, well, I know him, so I could talk about him. And Charlamagne says, you used to know him, which is a fact, and that is a painful truth. That relationship has long been severed, and it will never return. Jay-Z is known for being extremely petty in music and in business. And the line that Dame has crossed, talking about his wife, his family, I don't know if he's mentioned the kids. I hope he hasn't. But Jay-Z's never walking that back. It's been too many years. Dame is at his lowest point. If Jay hasn't reached out to help yet, the help is never going to come. So Charlamagne again with a beautiful counter.
You upset. Can I talk? Can I talk? I've never seen you say one word, because you talk bad about a lot of people.
This
but
is true.
You never said one time. And you walk around with his face on your chest.
Now, I don't get too much into the Jay-Z conspiracy things, whatever. Listen, do Charlamagne and Jay-Z likely have a relationship? Yes. Do I think Charlamagne is getting paid by Jay-Z to not talk about him? I don't think that that's the case. That's just my personal opinion. But what Dame is trying to get at is he thinks Charlamagne is being controlled by iHeart, by Jay-Z, and by other bigger figures. So this is a point Dame has been saying for years is Dame says, I'm a boss. Charlamagne, you're a worker. You've been sitting in this room forever and you still have to answer to people. But in the long game, Charlamagne has turned out more successful right now than Dame and Dash. And here's where things go left again. It just gets personal.
So I think you're gay. I'm sorry.
And I think you're broke.
Okay. I think that.
I think he's kind of gay too.
I think that.
I do have a question.
I think
though.
that. And no disrespect to gay, I just think.
I think you're broke.
Like I saw.
And that bothers you so much to get called broke by people.
I got you.
Charlamagne does it again. Dame tries to go personal and say something about his sexuality. I'm going to dismiss that. Number one, it's not right to throw things on people. And number two, we shouldn't be talking about people's sexuality in the year 2025. Grow up. And then Charlamagne hits him where it really hurts. He says, you're broke. I think you're broke and it hurts you that you are broke. And if you know someone who's prideful, if you know someone who once had amazing stature and respect and has lost it all, that hits the pit of Dame's soul. And it does hurt. It does hurt. And it takes a lot for him to stand in here and sit through this interview. And Dame's pride will carry him to the end for better or for worse. But Charlamagne is right. It does hurt him that he's in that financial position.
I do have a question.
I'm sure it does.
Right? Raise your hand if you think Dame's broken. Seriously. See, does this mean...
And look at envy.
This is the question, though. You ever heard Ronald Reagan say, if you're explaining, you're losing? You ever heard that saying? If you're explaining, you're losing? You explain a lot.
You asked me a question. So you asked me a question.
And now Charlamagne hits him with another fact. Dame is older. I don't think he really understands the internet. And I think that's been obvious over the past couple of years. And this is what I say about the internet. Charlamagne's talking about, if you're explaining yourself on TV, it's an older thing with Reagan. I'm talking about current day. Once you go on the internet and try to explain your point of view to hundreds of millions or a billion people who aren't going to agree with you no matter what because of public perception, you lost. You lost. Be quiet. Drop a song, drop a business idea, do a TV show, write an article. But once you get on the internet and try to explain, it's over. Like, you cannot win that battle. Charlamagne is right.
And then when I explain, so I won't, wait a second. Did that make any sense or did that sound dumb? We're doing an interview.
But you're always explaining something.
Because I'm doing interviews.
Like you're always on camera explaining what's going on.
And you're always on camera talking about other people like a girl.
So are you.
No, I'm not. Okay, let's unpack that.
Come on, Dan.
No, I'm about to.
And they get into this where they almost challenge themselves to like a fight. Like it just didn't seem professional to me at all. So I'm going to wrap this up. Did I like the interview? Absolutely not. I think that Dame is a legend in this space and he should be respected as such. But I do understand why they treated him this way up there because Dame is combative. Dame's ego and Dame's attitude is very abrasive. And I think Charlamagne wanted to prove a point to him. And I think the point was proven. Dame did have some wins here, but overall, this is a big loss. And it's a big L for Harlem, man. And I don't like it. And now he's going at it with Cam. It's Harlem or Harlem fighting. I wish it would just stop. I hope Dame gets it together, for himself, for his family. And I hope he can repair his public image because you never want to see a legend go out this way. And he's really going out sad. So I wish the Breakfast Club maybe tried to start off on a better page. But this is a reason why a lot of people don't want to go up there because it could easily go left and it can turn into a big joke rather than a serious interview where people can express and convey their opinions. And I've already covered the Drake leak. You can go check out my last video on it, but the Joe Budden podcast reacted to it. And listen, I think you could predict what each cast member could say without even watching this. But for the video's sake and for me to give my opinion, let's watch it together.
Record, unreleased record came out, Joe.
Yeah, I sent it to the group chat.
I liked it. What you doing,
And I
Freeze?
said, how is it? And nobody said nothing.
Yeah, nobody did say that.
That's all.
This is interesting here, right? So shout out to Queens Flip. He already said he liked it. He tweeted that out very enthusiastically. And he's looking around the room. He's saying, what do you guys think? Because no one else will even say anything. When Joe is there and people like Drake's music, it's quiet. When Joe's not there and Which One dropped, people were dancing. They were saying it's a hit. They were saying where they could hear it at. And the public didn't really love that song. The public loves this, but it's crickets over there. I don't know why they act different when Joe is in the building. It's very strange to me.
Okay, everything I needed to know.
I like the record. You didn't like it?
I know, I saw you tweet about it.
I liked it too.
I'm just saying.
Nobody song?
I like the record.
What'd you like about it?
I like what he was saying. I like the beat. I like what he was saying.
Yeah, the song is fire. That's what people liked about it.
You know what I mean? I thought he was in his bag.
I'm just tired of it.
This is the DeMar DeRozan this is what they're calling it.
I'm tired of it. I know he's gonna keep doing it, and
What are you tired of here? I wonder what you're tired of. The Clips, who I believe have the best rap album of the year so far, have been rapping about the same thing since I was in elementary school. It's a long time ago. You're not tired of it. The albums that you guys champion, y'all said Freddie Gibbs' album was good. He's been rapping about the same thing forever. So what are you tired of? When Drake raps about his real life, authentic experiences, he has to talk about these things. On top of that, it's a leaked song from a year ago. Come on, man.
I understand it, but
Of course.
I'm tired of the such and such turned their back on me. I don't fuck with such and such no more because y'all not loyal. Like, I get it. Give me something different at this point. Now,
And Ish is very quiet here, man. I don't know. He's been Drake's biggest advocate, and Flip, I think, as well. But he doesn't really speak up anymore, and they really don't speak when Joe's in the building. Like I said, very strange behavior to me. Be yourselves, man.
Jerks. And Scorpios just ain't going. Oh my God, this nigga going crazy. Yo, Ice and Scorpio. It's going crazy. With stomach sculpt. Hey, I'm saving my commentary on Drake and Cardi. That's my list.
Got it.
That's my list.
Now, Joe flat out says it here. He won't critique Drake and Cardi B. And here's why. Cardi B has been ripping Joe to shreds on Spaces, right? Because she feels Joe is always personally attacking her. He's always talking about who she's sleeping with, pregnancy, marriage, cheating. He's always talking about personal things. You're in the public light, people will do that. But she feels very picked on by Joe. And they've pieced it up, they've beefed, and right now they're just not in a good space. And Joe has personally attacked Drake, and Drake has personally attacked, Joe. So it's vice versa. It's always been personal. But Joe can't really say anything, and everyone on that couch can't say they're tired of the same thing and talking about beef because Joe made like 20 Drake diss records in his career. We heard a full album of it. So come on, man. You got to be real. So if you're not going to talk about Drake until the music comes out, that's fair. But allow the co-hosts and the B mic and the C mic and everyone else to discuss the music authentically, because when you were not there, they got into a deep dive and they gave love. When you're there, none of those feelings are around. And I wish they would be more authentic when it comes to Drake when on the show if you're there. That would be my hope for everyone. And while we're on the topic of hip hop media, we got to take it out west and listen to what the West Coast Drake haters have to say. Now, shout out to DJ Head, Elliot Wilson, and Jeremy Hecht. I think you guys do some good stuff over there. I think you guys are very insightful, but sometimes the bias is so strong you can't cover the topic objectively. Let's hear what they had to say.
And Iceman's not it.
No. Whatever these songs are, no. Think about this. This is the phenom. This is the GOAT, right? He's dropped since Not Like Us. I think the tally is at 13 songs.
The tally is at 13 songs, two number two singles, and a number one album, and a couple, I think which one is charted. Yeet, the one with Yeet has charted. So yeah, all of them are doing well, but watch him spin it. Watch him spin this.
Including some sexy songs for you.
Yeah. No. Solo songs, because that was half and half or whatever.
Okay.
I don't remember the tally. I don't remember who, it was some journalist that's better than me at journalism did the tally on how many solo releases have been.
Put a lot of records out. Some are not on your DSPs.
So you're trying to disqualify a joint album where he's clearly the lead artist, where he put Party on and gave Party the best week and year of his career. So you're trying to disqualify that, even though Luther is SZA being featured on a record, who's just as big a star as Kendrick Lamar. And I'm only going to use Kendrick in this example because DJ Head is obviously a Kendrick representative, right? He speaks not directly for him, but he speaks to him. So therefore, we listen to that voice a little bit differently. So let's compare it. Stop trying to knock somebody. Just give respect where it's due, man.
The songs are released, and only 2 records pretty much have staying power, which is insane for him.
And the other part about this is you just want to ignore circumstance and say, well, yeah, the songs were released. Okay. First of all, they were dropped on 100 gigs on a random night, and they were taken down by UMG and then put back out again. There was no rollout for this music. These songs were not promoted on the radio. I think I've already delved into how the radio has not been giving Drake airplay for not even just the past year, for years. Funk Flex has said it. He's on Hot 97, the #1 station in New York. So you just want to ignore context to get to your point because you're spinning a narrative.
I just think he just lost his footing, bro. He doesn't know what to do. He's kind of like when Ye was working on, I think, the Donda album, and he was changing it in real time and shit like that. I think that's what's going on. Like making calibrations, adjustments in real time, don't really have a direction.
Oh, man. Donda was a great album, and I think it was quite genius to do that, to listen to what people want and tweak your music to your fans, because that's who you make music for. How could you say that he has no direction? If you did 5 minutes of research and just typed in on YouTube, Iceman breakdown or plot twist breakdown, you would see that this has been methodically planned for over a year. How could someone with no direction pull off something so detailed with so many Easter eggs with no direction? Now, if you want to say the music isn't complete, that's a fair critique, but maybe it's not complete for a reason. The songs that he's put out have been recorded for a while. The song that just leaked has been recorded for over a year. So there is clear direction. There's clear artistic direction and creative direction. You just won't see it from that lens because that's the bias that you have.
I have an idea. I'm going to just go all in with this Iceman idea. Did the whole marketing thing, driving around in the truck, the streams, the whole shit, right? Cool. But I don't think this is fully thought out. It just coming across like it's kind of like.
And again, right? He's just wrong. And if you took the time, you would see you're wrong. And it would take a couple scrolls, a couple internet searches, and you will find the direction that he's going in. How else would someone like me, who doesn't know anybody from Drake's team, I've never spoken to them, be able to get down to what these episodes will be about, get down to color schemes, and get down to direction if there wasn't clear and concise path and thoughts that I could follow as a fan? Like, you just don't want to realize it, and you want to willfully be ignorant to it because of your bias.
This is what I think. Stop dropping music, cancel the rollout. Sit down with Elliot Wilson or somebody who you don't fuck with.
Why would he take advice from you? Stop dropping music. Let me stop the best rollout, or probably the second best rollout of my career, and not put out music, the thing that I love the most in the world, the thing that feeds my family and countless other families and countless other regions and genres. Let's not put out music, and let me go sit down with Elliot Wilson, who I already gave an interview to and who I feel betrayed by, because that makes sense.
That's the only way that people are going to take it serious. Sit down with somebody who you do not fuck with. Me, Joe, Elliot,
the guy.
Charlemagne
earned it.
Now, I already have a video on this. I think that he should sit down with Joe Budden because I think their relationship is more frenemies that really right now don't like each other. But why would he ever go sit down with Elliot again? First of all, Elliot's not even the draw. Elliot doesn't have the audience at all anymore, right? That platform is done. So if you do go sit somewhere, it would be with Charlemagne, or it would be with Joe, or it would be with Ak, because they have the platform, they have the audience. Why would he go help someone else? Doesn't make sense.
It's all doesn't make any sense. It's all we agree with. It's what we call recalibrate. It's like he needs to pull back and change everything. He needs to drop the lawsuit, end that situation, go to another label.
Not gonna drop the
fresh start.
Isn't too deep.
But then how are you gonna give us the Iceman album if you're?
So drop the lawsuit. I think Jeremy said the right thing. Number one, he is in too deep. There's no way you drop it. And why would you drop a lawsuit that is going to expose what your label allegedly did to you, to devalue you, and could potentially win you a settlement of hundreds of millions or $1 billion? Why would you drop a lawsuit? You don't file it unless you intend to see it through. And that was actually his caption about it. He says, I thought this through.
Out of your label, and they think it's going to do well.
But my thing is, he's still on the
I mean,
cover.
that already doesn't make any sense.
Another bad point. How are you going to have a successful album when you're suing your label? He already did. He had a #1 album and a #2 single while suing his label. And that was on a project that was partnered with Party and partnered with OVO and Santa Ana or Sony. It wasn't just UMG, and they still supported it because they're still going to benefit from it. Both parties benefit from each other. And UMG cannot sync the album because if they try to sync it on purpose, that proves his point that the label did not have his back and could potentially be sabotaging him. So it's a catch-22, which actually works in his favor. That point doesn't really make sense, Elliot. So let me just wrap up and say this. It's getting too predictable. If I could predict what Elliot would say, what DJ Head would say, and what Jeremy would say before I even watch the clip, that means something's wrong. Y'all got to change it up a bit. And congratulations to Cardi B. Let's hear it from her mouth, not mine.
Well, yes, I am. I'm having a baby with my boyfriend, Stefan Diggs.
Congratulations.
Now, shout out to Cardi again. I am not here to critique a woman's pregnancy. That is a blessing, and I'm happy for you. I'm happy for Stefan Diggs, and I wish you a safe delivery, a safe pregnancy, all of those things. Many blessings to you and your family. I'm only going to talk about the music. Now, Cardi did announce a new tour this week, right? She's going on tour. She's been promoting the album heavy. So I'm only going to talk about how all of these things will factor in. It is very difficult to be pregnant in general. It is even more difficult to be in a limelight, in a lawsuit, rollout, on tour, being pregnant. It is extremely stressful to you, to the baby, and to your family. And with all the outside noise about Stefan Diggs and does he have other girlfriends? Does he have another baby on the way? Did he just have a baby? You got to read the blogs and decide if you believe it for yourself. That is up to you. I'm only going to talk about the music and how it relates to the business. I don't know how you could tour pregnant. Like, people have done it before, but how well can you really perform? It's a difficult task. You've been rolling out this album so hard. The rollout doesn't end when the album drops. The rollout really just begins because you need more than first week sales. You have to do 300,000. Can you deliver that? I don't know. I think it's more looking like 160, 175. I know you're going to have your previous singles on it, but those will not count towards first week sales. Those will count towards album sales moving forward, but you need a strong first week number. You have a lot of haters to prove wrong. People at your label have doubted you. The public has doubted you. Other artists have doubted you, and I want you to succeed. You're a New Yorker. You're a woman of color. You are outspoken, and a lot of people view you as a role model. So I want you to succeed, but it's a lot of things going on which could hinder that success. But I pray that you are successful, but people will always have something to say, right? Fan bases will have something to say. Your ex-husband or, who you're being divorced from will have something to say. So it's just a really difficult situation. And, I know Cardi wouldn't rush into a decision. She said she's happy. She has a strong support system. Stefan Diggs is happy. He's in the middle of an NFL season. So there's a lot of change happening in the personal life. But the personal life will always affect the business. And that is my #1 concern. How effective can you be moving right now with all the outside factors of family, of boyfriends, of ex-husbands? There's so much going on that is overshadowing the music. So much is overshadowing the music. Will the music career suffer? And Lauryn Hill went through this. She has a whole song about how the label wanted her to not go through with it and to, take her career over her child. And she wasn't with it. And Lauryn Hill's career was never the same. This will be Cardi's 4th child. If this album doesn't do well, I could easily see Cardi saying, I no longer want to do music. That's all I have for you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of this style of video. I wanted to do this on live, but I wasn't able to, only because until I get my setup fully right and I can give you the best possible product, I decided not to do the live stream, so I just covered it like this. If you guys like this style of video where I do multiple topics, please let me know. Or if you want me to just go back to the regular style, I want to listen to my audience. I want to get live feedback and adjust. DJ Head and Elliot might not like that because I'm testing a product, but this is what a smart businessman would do. Salute, my family. Make sure y'all get some merch. Make sure you share the video. Let's get to 10K followers so I can do the $500 giveaway. Salute.